Germans. They went crazy. Like,
it was also sort of what gave to the Reformation when Martin Luther, this German Jesuit priest, said, "Hey, man, all this money that's going to,
that's very
building these incredible statues, these incredible cathedrals, and we're starving over here. How about if we just read the Bible? If we just read the Bible, then maybe we'll be, just as in favor of God as you guys. And maybe we don't need a hierarchy of bishops and popes and all this sort of rank and file that also needs a salary, that's also taking money."
Well, Martin Luther was also the first guy to translate the Bible phonetically so that regular people could read it. Because everybody else was like, no one knew that.
38.
So it was only these priests that we had to rely on to get the word of God from. And Martin Luther was like, that's really
Olympic darts. We're in Rio, everybody.
standing in society. They couldn't kill him.
Right. They tried. He had to leave. He was off the run, but you're right.
But it was
playing Olympic darts.
He wasn't like a very respected, high-standing person in society. Probably jacked for a long time.
Yeah. There was already, I can't remember, I read a lot about it back in the day, but he was always under threat that he had to essentially, I think,
there's this phrase
come on, 35.
Jesus, it's called the vomitorium. And that's not what it sounds like. Everybody thinks that they got there and they threw up and then they went back and ate again. Mm-hmm. That's not what we did.
I always thought they did that.
Yeah, no, the vomitorium refers to the way they got people out of the stadium. It to do with the word vomit. It's the way the stadium is structured is this gigantic, that's a vomitorium, is the exit. So they had all these exits. They had a bunch of different doors all throughout the building. Like if you look at like some images of the Coliseum, there's all these pathways. Like you would go, 30 yards over, there's another 30 yards over, there's another pathway. And that allowed an efficient of getting people, look at all the doorways. See all those doorways all around it? That was an efficient method of getting people out of the stadium. So they called it a vomitorium. But like if you look,
651.
Look up the origins of the word vomitorium and what it means in Latin, but it doesn't have anything to do with it. But it sounds like it. So everybody was like, oh, they fucking ate and threw up. So people like sort of repeated that over.
With the feather down the throat.
I'm sure someone did that. Yeah. I'm sure there was some fat fuck that wanted to keep partying.
It happens right now in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Are you kidding?
67.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Popular misconception each one was supposed to have vomited. That's not true. The arch of a series of entrances.
Fuck yeah. 40, 55.
Amphitheater or theater. Yeah. See, that's what it really means. So the popular misconception, the second version of it, but translate, use, what is the origin of the word, though? Like, what does that mean? Vomitoria is the plural noun. No, that's weird. That's the vomitoria.
Probably
We're vomiting in the vomitorium.
what we vomit out of, right?
Yeah, but it's not vomit. That's not that's a word. It's
48.
You would call it, right? Like
Not vomit, he said.
Word vomit. But that's not what they were referring to when they were calling it a vomitorium. It's just one of those weird Latin things.
26, 27.
Everybody thinks that's what a
Cheap.
There's a fucking house.
Cheap Chinaman sitting on the fence trying to make $1 out of 15 motherfucking cents.
Here's the feather.
65.
House? Like, that is so ridiculous.
The puke room.
Vomitorium.
The puke room, the sauna room.
Does it say?
Woo! 133, sir.
Brother, he from another mother. He got 135. Singing in my car. There we go.
It just sounds like this.
My brother, he from another mother.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful.
33.
I wonder if vomit actually came from that then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the original thing was an exit, and then vomit became that.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting.
It's kind of how language happens, right?
Yeah, but
Third dart.
it's weird how it happens.
Word. Get that third dart.
It's a it is a weird ass way to take out 60, but hey, it works.
Hey, that's the way. There ain't nothing weird about it, man. You just got the fucking check, all right? You just got the check, all right? You check out aisle 1 and check out aisle 3 is what it was. Check out aisle 3. Check out aisle 3.
All right, one's up here.
New things. the amount of work that was done in completing that
That's
building.
the way to hit that 26. I'm telling you, that's a nice 26. I'm telling you, that's the way to hit it.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. It's interesting that slavery was the order of the
17.
Yeah.
for most of history.
Okay, but when you look at like wage slavery today, there's no slavery today, but you can imprison people in a state of poverty, right? And it's not against their will, right? Voluntarily.
Sure the hell can. Shanghai right there, bro. Shanghai. That's fucking 60s.
Need to work, and then
20.
jobs that are completely dead end,
Job.
low wage jobs.
25.
And perform these menial tasks until we figure out robots that can do those tasks far better and far more efficient. It's not slavery because they can leave anytime they want, but in a lot of ways it has the same effect.
41, man. 41. Come around, 41.
I'm talking about, there's a macro difference.
Wow.
There is an idea that has gained great traction, and because ideas move really slowly sometimes, but there's an idea that has gained traction in most of the world, and even parts of the world where it isn't, they try to defend it as it being so. And that's the
Now I can hear the fucking talk radio fucking.
universal human rights.
Last time I couldn't really hear it, but I could barely hear it. But now I can hear it. So I'm like, that's cool. I'll listen in on this shit, man.
It's 1940. Slavery was alive and well. Think about this country in
65.
This country until 1960, where there was the idea that you had right water fountains.
100 years before that was nothing. Slavery.
34.
And of course, that had to be defended along biblical grounds and all these kind of shoddy ideas. But the idea of universal, the Judeo-Christian faith, even Islam, talked about sort of everybody being of the same moral worth because we're all the same, right? That's the monotheistic notion that comes in those religions.
Is that Joe Rogan again?
Yeah.
98.
Universal human rights is something a little bit different, and it's a modern concept. And that, like, say, germ theory, the idea that these things you can't see, but you still have to wash your hands.
55.
Those things that move very slowly. But that is, I think,
Reconnecting those.
I was just talking about how both those ideas are ideas that took a long time to gain traction.
37.
Good for us. But let's stick to universal human rights.
Yeah,
I think that idea is
43.
just that mindset, and the fact that you have to defend it as a society is why there's such a stark difference between. I understand what you're saying by being in bondage to your lifestyle, to having to make a living because you got people who depend on you and stuff like that. I don't think that'll ever go away. But there's such a
that should definitely go away.
There is.
You don't think that'll go away? I think that could definitely go away the same way slavery is going away.
I'm optimistic, but what I'm saying is that I think when I'm like, slaves have zero dignity. Like,
Right.
in fact, somebody one time, as a historian, said there's no such thing as a slave. There are people in bondage.
49.
So anybody who is a slave, you're not a slave, but you are a person in slavery, right? So he posed this question. He said, when did the civil rights movement begin in this country? Everyone's like, well, in Selma, Alabama, in the 60s and 50s. No, I said, no.
29.
It began the first day that an African American was brought to this country against his will. Any human being doesn't want to be in bondage. You're always trying to get out of bondage. And there's that striving for dignity
10, 16.
that I think we're getting closer to.
Wait a minute. That's slavery. How is that the civil rights movement? It's the first day that someone brought to the United States against their will.
In other words,
not the first day someone enacted some sort of a civil rights.
he was being what he was saying was that, everybody is always fighting for dignity and their own sovereignty and their own civil rights, regardless of where they are. If you put someone in bondage and you make them do things against their will and you take their
45.
dignity away,
Right.
they are immediately beginning the struggle for their own freedom.
Right, and that's where the conspiracy theories fall into play, where modern capitalism is thought of as being some sort of a new way around that. That instead of having people slaves, like literally bonded.
Oh, man. I thought I was hitting that.
Instead,
14.
set up these honey traps, and you allow people to get sucked into these things like having massive debt with student loans and making credit cards easy and allowing people to mortgage a house they can't really afford, knowing full well.
Wow, that was goddamn horrible. 14.
This and make some sort of a profit. And that all these things, this is where conspiracy theories fall into, that all these things are to enact a modern form of
I couldn't hit a 14 myself. Zeroing out.
and putting them in very disadvantageous situations for their own gain.
I would say that that's literally the state of nature. And what I mean by that is that let's just take, for example, the marketplace. If you just let people go, let people do their thing, they are going to, for example,
Oh my
there's
God,
going to be a
I
marketplace
don't know what I'm doing right
for differences of opinion.
13.
This is what I mean. There's a company. It's about to start up. You start a company. I don't know what it is. Let's just say it's it's a gadget. And you're going to have groups of people on this side that are going to say that's going to be the next big thing. Joe Rogan's company is going to be the next.
It's your shot, dude.
And you're going to have a bunch of other people on the other side who are going to go, you know what? Not a shot. And here's why. So you have these differences of opinion. There's a marketplace. There's a marketplace.
No shot.
For essentially derivative. Swap. There's a marketplace.
No shot, Charlie.
Where people say, I will bet you. I will short that. I will basically say, I'll buy it at this price right now, and I'll sell it to you. And if it goes up in value, that's how.
Substitute.
So for me, capitalism is just a bunch of
First start.
We're trying to make money. What comes
Yep,
with
good shot.
ideas, create a society.
Thank you, sir, for allowing me to throw that a little bit early.
Property rights. Really
I imagine it might be on video. Right.
Then that's, as far as I can see, what you call a
28.
capitalist society. And it seems to be better than most
Oh, man, drop it like it's hot.
systems that require oversight, and not because central oversight is such a bad thing, I just think it's impossible to control
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
the way people think on such a macro scale. I think it's very.
Well, I don't think you have
It's Brooklyn Bullseye watching us.
Hey, you are behaving. Well,
Hey!
I
Not here.
I see what you're
17.
saying about
Ah.
that. I see what you're saying about society,
but I think that all these things
Chink.
point to how fucked up slavery as recently as a couple of
Man, 22.
things are getting better. We're
22.
figuring out a way to make a society that is more beneficial to more people, but still not to everyone.
Oh my
And then the
God.
point is
11.
it possible to create a utopian society where it's beneficial to virtually everyone? And the way to do that, the only way to do that is here's
Damn, that was going smooth for a minute. I said to move it over.
socialism as
Won't say.
cure to what ails us. You know, that somehow or another, that if you get people and you give everybody money and everybody shares wealth
26.
equally, the problem with that cuts out incentive for madness and the incentive for
This
madness.
is fucking Rio de Janeiro, the fucking bullseye champion of the fucking
Steve Jobs was a fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
Hey,
goddamn Olympics.
hey, did you say your last shot was 110? Because you only put in 11.
You know, probably
Fuck no, it was just 11.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
the one before that was 110, yeah?
The one before that was 11 too, bro.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay.
But thanks, good looking out though, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it sounded like it said 110. I'm like, what the shit?
It was that bad, I'm telling you.
Russia, how many cars can you buy in Russia? Really socialism.
The Russians, I think, they're power, which is they just go avert your eyes in my presence.
Nah, man, but we're in Rio de Janeiro trying to play the fucking Olympic fucking game here, bro. And I'm hitting 26s and 11s.
The whole Russian team cheating it's so
So
systemic.
rare.
It's so systemic. It's state sponsored. Yeah, I mean, they've got the KGB apparently, or what used to be the KGB involved.
45, 54.
Compete independently without a nation. before they kill her?
Back Rogan, did you turn him down or something, man?
Russia's problem.
I can't
Russia's
join
idea.
I'm trying to listen to some Rogan, man. It looks like you turned him down.
Because they have prestige and you want to be
About that KGB and shit, man.
just for good. You know, you can say, hey guys, I know you're all looking at me, and you do this all the time. How many people love this? How many people download this podcast? You're very aware of the responsibility that comes with. So you do two things: you try to keep it really honest,
45.
true to yourself, but you also try to have smart people on who have different perspectives, so you can kind of figure out a way to get out into people's heads. That's one power that I would consider a positive use. Then there,
God damn, I lost that. 20, 30, 40, 9.
This is different between, like the power that Putin has
43.
and
41,
the
sorry.
power that the Nerdist has.
well, so exactly, you just use the word. So there's power that controls,
That's hurt, little Joe.
inspires, and I think power that inspires is what this country needs to keep in mind at all times. That's the power. Look, you always need power. You need guns and stuff. They're crazy people. You need a strong military.
Well, I think the difference is you're using a blanket statement, like power. It's like the word drugs,
damn it all.
like caffeine, drugs,
6,
meth.
11.
You know what I mean? There's power, and then there's influence. But there's things that are powerful, and then there's things that have power over.
There we go.
You.
Grouping 60, grouping 60.
Do anything about it. That's a difference.
That's right.
So the word power. The problem is the use of the word power.
But remember, also the mindset. I believe that Russia, and just such an amazing group of people, they could do anything they wanted, and a strong culture. But I think the mindset of Russians, in many ways, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's a product of their history. Mindset is that they admire the first example of power, control,
What the fuck is this shit?
and dominance more than they admire the power that influences and inspires.
So they're like Trump supporters.
I think so. They're people
66.
like a strong man at the helm.
Does
We
he
know that.
Trump like Putin likes Trump?
Yes.
That's good, right? But Jamie did, and I paying attention to the fact that this is what I like about all this stuff. What I like about all this Trump nonsense is it's shown how vulnerable the system is to fuckery. That a man can come along and just take a
Trump's a fucking nut. 40, 50, 76.
Deep remorse, right?
Deep remorse. And he said that if Donald Trump becomes president and has the key to the nuclear football, he said he literally could be the end of civilization. He said the book should have been titled instead of The Art of the Deal, should have been titled The Art of Sociopath.
26.
I believe, or the Words of the Sociopath, or something along those lines. But his take on Trump is that he's a total sociopath.
It's not surprising to me. I mean, he's certainly a narcissist, and maybe they're the same thing in some ways. But
Ain't no way Trump's gonna fucking push that button, dude. He's got fucking money. He wants to live. Now, maybe after being president, you might not want to live.
He's been sued something like 3,500 times.
I believe that when you have a huge company, that happens a lot. So that's not as
30,
surprising to me
35.
what,
By lawyers and stuff.
oh yeah. Well, his creditor, the people that invested, people who worked for him never got paid.
God bless America, man. 22. Right? Yeah.
We
What
talk
about
about him
Trump
being
University?
we talk
Bless Brooklyn.
about this man. I don't know that we have a lot of evidence. He's done a good job creating a brand that's worth something. So if you put it on a hotel, it comes with, in your mind, you think of high quality,
I get 2 balls.
prestigious, nice bedding, and
25,
he has
43,
a
46.
building tower.
Wasn't it
That's
also interesting that he used the name Trump? Because, I believe Trump card, that expression Trump card, was there before the name
That
Trump.
expression Trump card.
Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
That's his actual last name.
That's such
card.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the name Drumpf. I mean, shit, Arnold Schwarzenegger became famous as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
15.
I mean, he's got the goofiest fucking name ever, and he's smacked.
Hey, goofiest fucking name ever.
What's wrong with Drumpf?
I remember-
It doesn't mean anything.
I remember being amazed at the United States, a man by the name of Barack Hussein Obama. And
Yeah.
when our
Me too.
was
41. I was like, wait, that's too soon and too close to fucking Osama bin Laden or Barack Obama. That kind of sounded too close together.
Yeah, but who killed Osama? Obama.
But that's why I give Americans a lot of credit.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to me, man. I never heard nothing like it. So that.
How dumb Americans are. I don't think Americans are dumb, and I think Americans in a lot of ways are very.
Oh my God, I busted. Hit double 11.
There's a two-party system where if you are on the left, you have to support whoever's on the left. That's why all these people are lining up to support Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
Right, all the
Come on, mate. Not a 28, mate.
We'd be full of shit.
She's corrupt.
Oh my God, we played this video the other day where they were showing the difference between what the FBI has said about her trial, about them looking into the email server, the illegal use of the email server, the fact that top secret documents were shared, cut and pasted, and shared with people that didn't have the status to be able to check
21, 28.
Multiple devices were used to access these, and then compared them to what she has said about it. She's just a
Where
liar.
you get this on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
What do you think? What
Joe Rogan podcast. I like it. It's a good word, bro. Let me bullshit with you, bro, for a minute, man. Let me get that 12 and that. Let me get that 24 up on that motherfucker. Yeah.
To have any oversight.
They're dark.
You know, and she wanted to have
Check out aisle 3.
deleted a lot of fucking emails, thousands of emails, and you're not supposed to do that. Like, that's a part of that gig. Part of that gig is transparency. She's
What our average is, me and you usually have pretty tight fucking games, dude.
Yeah.
41.
If he had done the same thing, he said, yes, I would be in jail. He was discussing how this is just not done, and everyone knows this. This is like not a woman who just stepped into politics for the first time.
73.
Someone who's been involved in politics virtually her whole life.
I read a good article. Somebody said,
Oh, I can feel it. Come on. Oh, I should have had that 180 on you.
He said, look, I have my point of view on Hillary. And he's not a left-leaning. I think he's... And he went and he interviewed all the people that have worked with Hillary, and even her opponents.
Oh, that's
and
weak
it was
sauce.
really
Christ,
interesting to get
24.
He said one thing that we talk about is, number one, she doesn't feel very comfortable.
All the way, bro. I just...
Not a
Chink, China, man.
But dude, she's such a great speaker.
She's a great speaker.
Oh, when does she talk? It's so nice on the ear.
See, I
Okay.
use words like
I just stopped with that. That was good.
Thoughtful and very intelligent.
I will say, yeah, Hillary is not the best public
That was
speaker,
an
and that's not just because she's a woman. It's because her voice is
Favorable.
That's because she let Bill get head from that intern and shit, bro.
Pretty interesting.
And she's still backing them up because she knows she likes that beating, dude.
Something about what their job is.
You know she likes that beaver.
Beaver!
And you have like
41. We'll get off of that subject.
Because you never know if they're going to be. It's amazing.
Yeah, you'll get off talking about it.
It's amazing. Oh my God, Ghostbusters! The new Ghostbusters is incredible.
I'm gonna go to Adelaide.
They're such strong women.
My new thing.
It's amazing.
My new thing is
Go to Adelaide. Sorry about that. 6, but I'm gonna go to Adelaide,
Howard. She's
Australia.
embraced her nudity.
Oh God.
She's bending over,
Yeah.
arching her back and licking her lips.
She's brave.
45.
She's so brave. All right. If she was brave, she'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and hit the gym before she went to the set. She wouldn't be fat anymore.
Dude,
People are angry at that Melissa McCarthy woman. They're angry that she's They're angry that she's choosing to become healthy. So they're saying this is in direct contrast to who she was before, who we loved, is this fucking cartoonish fat lady. And this cartoonish fat lady who would want to pretend to be healthy. Fucking slew of people
fucking funny ass Joe Rogan 20.
about different things that are healthy about being fat. And I went down a rabbit hole one night because some woman was writing, she was this obese woman, and I was really sad when I was looking at her photos. And I would like
Melissa McCartney
about them on social media, and all these people are harassing her for being fat.
Keep it low.
Putting a blog.
6. About your 6.
Attract a certain amount of bugs.
Get up, boy.
But she was talking about different aspects of being overweight that are healthy. And there's one weird phenomenon where healthy people
43
that catch a disease sometimes don't do as well as fat people that have the same disease.
In the old days, they said you should have some weight on you in case you get a disease and you can fight it better. That was always the case.
What is
Oh, that's bullshit.
I guess
So
because
you have some weight, so in case you lose a bunch of weight, I get it. So you don't wither up to nothing. That's fucking crazy.
more, I don't know, or you have reserves when you're not eating and stuff. You know, your body uses the fatty acids for energy.
Well, that makes sense. So your body gets into a state of burning fat rather than burning food.
Yeah.
And, you know, so people, that's a huge issue. It's coming up with some form.
Italian relatives, you know, the Sicilian side back in the day. I remember if somebody was too skinny, they would say, you know, be careful. If you get sick, you know, you'll die.
God damn it, another fucking 6?
But that doesn't mean it's healthy to be fat. It just means it's like
Come on, you got to come on, pick this shit up now.
catastrophic disease. Yeah. But you're all more likely to get that catastrophic.
We might have to Rick or the Chipster watching our asses, man. We got to pick this up. They'll get bored.
I just love called Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It. And he traces the genealogy of the obesity epidemic. And he goes all the way back to the 30s.
58.
And he looks at how ineffective all these obesity clinics and even the science of obesity has been. It's been so difficult because a lot of times it was a psychological disease. So you'd go to a psychiatrist, or they would put you on these very restrictive diets, 1,200 calories a day, and you would lose weight, but at the end of the day, you descend. But
also, your body gets into this state
45.
of panic where it tries to store energy really quickly because it's worried that you're in a famine state.
Right. So what he traces, and then he looks at the Native
That's
American,
her, little Joe.
you know, government rations.
Hey.
They all blew up like balloons because they were given white flour. And the thesis of the book is essentially that when you eat simple carbohydrates, a lot of carbohydrates, especially things like white flour and sugar, your body produces a lot of insulin, and for 56. A whole bunch of metabolic reasons, it's insulin that causes you to retain fat molecules and need more sugar.
God dang, bust.
I think great a book of explaining it. But
That's my mustard.
You know, when you look at it that way, and when you look at the fact that it's just a question of changing what you put into your body, you know, you will then eventually have this.
Fucking fuck. 54.
It's a really good way to lose weight and not have to restrict your calories. It just is. Now, I don't know if it's for everybody.
I don't think there is a single
I don't either.
Obviously, people have different allergies to foods, like or allergies to all sorts of things. Like that's a great indication that there's so much biological diversity. So many people have genetics that have come from all sorts of different parts of the world, all sorts of different environments that we evolved.
Damn, I was looking for a checkout aisle too.
It's fairly recent, because when people started eating, you know, that much sugar. I think that's
no good. No good. Pack of wood.
Eating a certain amount of carbs and breads and pastas, but it is universal that massive amounts of sugar bad.
What?
There's no. I don't.
Fuck
think
did
there's
I just do?
Right.
Yeah. But one of the things hard for these people.
7 left. 3 doubles.
They've gotten
Get it.
into that pattern as kids.
3
or they have and it's very true that some people genetically do put weight on. They don't
12.
the way other people.
All right.
Some people just can't do that.
No score.
Very active.
I'm very active. But
look at the group.
there's always
Fucking
been
groupies, dude.
which is you're fat, which means you are of weak character or you have a faulty character. And that's why they take so much shit. Whereas Gary Talbot's book said a lot of it was just the fact that people didn't know how the body worked. Right. And a lot of this information came out in Germany. Before the war, there were these Austrian scientists that were really closing in on what insulin does.
Man, I can't believe I didn't get in that time.
When the war was over, no American scientists were going to use German data.
Right.
It was kind of like, no, we'll come up with our own data.
Well, we use their rocket data.
We did use their rocket
We
data.
fucking scooped up all their Operation Paperclip. We scooped up all their fucking rocket scientists and made them Americans.
Yeah.
There's a fucking thing about Werner von Braun being a great American. And like, what's wrong with a fucking Nazi? The guy who ran
Nothing.
straight up Nazi. Simon Wiesenthal alive today, they would prosecute him for crimes against
Oh my
humanity.
God! How the
Yeah,
fuck did I
they
miss
hung
that
the
bad?
5 slowest workers every day at his fucking rocket factory in Berlin.
Sweet guys.
They hung Jews. They hung them in the front of the fucking rocket factory.
Damn.
One of the things that they
Yeah.
Directly from people who are still alive who worked in that factory.
I believe
the tattoos on their arms.
I believe it. I don't think that's.
That's
I don't even think that's a point of conjecture.
But how crazy is it that we just scooped up all those monsters? Like,
Well,
hey,
we
you
also
monsters are
scooped
really
up,
good at
Come on, T. Hit that shit, bro.
We also scooped up a lot of German and Austrian Jewish scientists because when they, in fact, Einstein, I believe, emigrated after a number of, or I think it was 2 scientists
Come on, Heimlich Himmler.
on the street. And so all these like brilliant Jewish scientists said, let's get the fuck out of here
Get
and go
the fuck in that mother.
to the United States.
Well, you know
And
the
they
horrible tragedy of Fritz Haber. You know the
Yeah,
Haber method.
incredible.
The Haber method.
Oh,
is
well, that was in the close. Okay. I'm not clearly not focusing anymore.
nitrogen from the air, and it's one of the. They say today.
God, I can't believe I'm right on the cuff, Holmes. Right on the cuff of civilization, dude.
Is that in? No, a double one.
Please be.
No score. God, I've been half slumping.
I got it.
Good job.
And it ain't the Carbonaro effect. You ever seen it?
I have not actually.
I think it's called the badge.
You better.
And that's what it's called because there's.
Good shot, man.
they did
3-1.
a
Here we go.
show, I think that's what it's called, and what they just showed is that sometimes, and this we've all known this. Sometimes people that have done horrible things are also amazing at something that.
58.
And this is one of the classic examples. Fritz Haber figured out this way to extract nitrogen from the air, and the nitrogen in our bodies today, they estimate that some 50 the nitrogen, what they use it for is fertilizer. And for the longest time, for the longest time, they used to have to get like dead fish or mulch or something like that, compost.
And in fact, that backwater.
Yeah, backwater was a big one. Literally, batshit crazy was like because people would have
30.
over that shit. That's right. Isn't that nuts?
That's exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. There were fucking wars over bat. Like,
Because that's how you grew your food.
It's
And
amazing.
people would starve during the winter
Not
because they didn't
speaking at the moment.
have soil. And Fritz Haber is literally credited with stopping mass scale starvation.
Yes.
But then there's
Yeah,
the-
but they
41.
said that the nitrogen in our bodies, 50% of it came from the Haber method. All people today. Yeah. Like literally, he's responsible for a
Can't
massive.
get it in. That's what she said.
But he also was the guy that fucking used gas in war for the first time.
He's also the guy that fucking used. What does he just sit there smoking bongs and shit, bro? Bullshitting?
by the way, it's
No, not really.
I think he's smoking bongos, man.
I mean, sometimes they do on here, but yeah.
Know what it was and get the fuck away from it. Whereas Zyklon B, the Nazis extracted the smell. You know, Haber was a Jew. So what a fucking crazy conundrum that guy found himself where his
65. Pick it up. 65. Pick it up.
invention that he created.
It's incredible. And you know, also, if you take a sympathetic approach to a man who was a patriot, he was a patriot. His country was at
6.
war. He benefited from this country. He had a legacy in this country. He had stand in the country, and his country was under direct threat. And he said, I think I know a way to help this war effort so we can stop the enemy. And you know, we should
Pick it up, man. 26.
all put ourselves
I
in
don't
the
need none of that.
I had a way, and I think I'm right about it. If I had a way as an American, as Brian County, to save my country from people I thought were going to actually take it over
41.
and kill a bunch of people, including my family, I'm going to gas the fuck out of them if I can invent a technique. I'm going to gas them and come up with a way to shoot a rocket at them. So if that makes me a bad person.
Oh, man. 20, 30, 47 and shit.
The same time. But the same people that wanted to try
57
for war crimes dropped nuclear fucking bombs on 2 cities in Japan. Like, there's a war
I
crime.
guarantee whoever's still watching this Star tournament is listening to the podcast and is probably not interested in the darts itself. Because we ourselves ain't putting on a show.
The Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. This is the fire bombs, which, by the way, killed more people, did more destruction. I mean, everybody concentrates on
24, 38.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki
Firebombing was.
Come on, Nagasaki. Right there. 55.
Americans, but Dresden looked like the surface of the moon. Kurt Vonnegut, I think in the book Slaughterhouse-Five talks about this in particular detail. But
Well,
look at
shit.
just YouTube Dresden before and after.
69.
Jimmy, bring up Dresden.
The second one bounced like a
Bring
motherfucker.
up
Jimmy, right?
Dresden before.
Come on.
But Curtis, I think in
41.
1 million people died from fire. And Curtis LeMay said, war is the business of killing people, and if I had been on the losing side, I'd probably be tried as a war criminal. To see Curtis LeMay, he's always chewing a cigar, and he was the commander, and he was the one who made those decisions.
Just fucking missed it. 90 left, 16, 35 score.
Dresden was a jewel. It was a beautiful city.
Like
Come on, Julius.
Fucking
do they have videos of it there, Jamie? This is all. Yeah, see if you can find some photos, some actual photos. Beautiful Dresden ruins. Whoa! But this is
It was way
drawings.
worse than that. No, that's a real photograph.
Oh, that's.
Just missed again.
That's a photo.
That's what it looked
That's
Oh my
75
God.
left?
all of it.
12,
And
yeah,
they
15.
talk about this who were just walking around the city that had been standing for 700 years.
Yeah.
And it was
damn.
no longer.
How would they survive this?
They didn't.
Come on, Hog Nasty and a motherfucking 20. 66.
Down. They were falling down because the oxygen was sucked out of the air. So
From the
you'd
fire.
be on the street and you would just fall down.
Because there's no air.
Yes, or there'd be a bomb and people would open their shutters and stick their head out and the aftershock would take their heads off.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yes! Third dart. Boom!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I needed that.
75. Good fucking shot. Just as Joe Rogan was talking about getting your head fucking blown off.
Fuck, I needed that. Thanks, man.
People in the World War II that were dead. Many
41.
Put that into context. And that.
All right, now we got a game again.
These experiments,
Even though we're having but it's a game again.
the idea that you can
We always got one, bro. I wasn't doubting you.
and create utopias. From those experiments came ash and 80 million graves.
27.
Right? Kind of, sort of. I mean, the idea, like, if you just wanted to improve human beings without killing people that you thought were inferior, if you just wanted to be the Ubermensch without making.
Oh, Monty. Fucking Monchi cheese, dude.
Yeah,
That Monchi cheese.
concentration camps that Pol Pot would put people in.
Right.
You had to be marched to the countryside because he was creating an agrarian utopia.
But why does it always have to? Why does any beneficial act, like the idea of creating better people,
42,
like a better society with better people? I mean, if we all had a world where everybody had perfect genetics and nobody had to worry about fat shaming, you know, like nobody had to worry about not being attractive, but that's not good. So the problem is like the stress and the anxiety of being a dork and the bullied, and that's where diamonds come.
Joe Rogan speaking to my heart right now.
It's not good to bully someone. It's not good to take advantage of
33.
someone. It's not good to make someone's life hell. But a lot of times that's where you get a Marvin Gaye. Of course, you know, you get these jewels of art. You get these people that come out of these horrible environments, and they have this power to them.
But you have to create. You're right. You still have to.
3.
The United States is big guns and powerful, you know, and incredible.
60,
Also
the hard way.
Prince.
That's the best way.
Haven for our
God damn it.
weirdos and people that think differently and act differently.
I ain't calling my score if it ain't 40 above.
That's it.
Or sometimes 30 something is confusing.
Yeah.
And that's a very important thing to keep in mind when you
57.
When you talk about bombing and how we're getting better, think about it for a second.
Check. 85.
Think of not only terrorism, and I'm guilty of this too, or even say something like cancer. So if you have cancer, there's one method of treating it, and sometimes it works, which is there's a tumor,
29.
let's cut it out. Let's cut the tumor out.
There's another method of treating it, which is diet and health and taking care of your body before it ever happens. This is one of the
So
things.
you're talking now about the duality, is what I'm saying. Is that we fall sometimes into the problem can be cut out and removed, right? Instead of saying
Prevention.
what you just said is there might be another task.
I just missed the 18.
In every
Fuck,
issue.
66.
So when we talk about the bad guys, and we talk about we have to and listen, there's
Come on, Joe Rogan.
take out
76.
the question, of course, but we have to be careful that we don't fall into one way of thinking and one way of dealing with what we consider threats, right?
Right.
Because we could make the problem worse.
37.
Maybe this is a that doesn't require and radiation.
My ass is fucking moving around like fucking nobody's business. Ain't right, man. That's the worst stance ever right there.
That's not as violent, not as physical.
Yeah. Well, there's also the problem of the charismatic leader. And there's also the problem.
Fucking shit, I knew it. Says a lot of guys. 18.
Like you were talking about, if you
Come on, Shaq Fu.
threat to the United States,
Go with the Shaq Fu, bro. Oh,
somehow or another, someone who lives in
fuck
Italy,
this for 3-4, dude. Fuck
And
you.
someone who lives in the United States.
If I want to be Shaq, I need like to grow like another
preposterous.
23 inches and gain 70 pounds. But okay.
That motherfucker reached all the way to the board and set it in, though.
The people that they were describing to me how everything's changed. I was talking to this one cab driver, he was a really interesting guy, and we were commenting.
Oh my God.
About everywhere you look, Land Rover Defenders that are in
Shaq ain't never heard of the General, man.
everywhere. And I said, "Is this normal?"
Ain't never heard of the General.
He said, "This is the new way. Like this is the world is changing. So this is not a good.
Yeah.
This is not good." And I said, "So this is a direct response to the terrorist threats and the things that have been happening in Paris?" He goes, "Yes, because they don't want it to happen here." So all the places where there was tourists, whether it was the Vatican, whether it was the Colosseum, you saw these camouflage.
I knew I'd do that. God, fuck.
displays of guns.
9.
And a woman. Saw a woman.
Shaq, you right here, Shaq. Right here, Shaq. Right here. Oh, dude, you silly ass motherfucker. 46.
But it is weird to see these people. They're standing out there holding guns, and they had fucking very serious looks in their face. They're scanning the crowd, looking left and looking right, and a lot of fucking people dressed up like beekeepers. Poor ladies with gloves on and ninja masks. And 2016, and you got people wandering the streets of one of the greatest cities in the world. And a liberal
55. Sorry, I was wrong.
I
I had to get straightened out, man.
Yeah, and all the women, Italian women, dressed like hoes.
Yeah, they're
Hoes, looking for dick.
well, there's this they're minimalists. Excuse me, sir. They're minimalists.
14.
They know how to.
I'm a fan.
God,
I'm
this man can't slip away.
This man stabbed a woman and her 3 children at a resort for being scantily dressed.
39.
Was on there? Yeah. What in the fuck, man?
Oh, shit.
It's such a bankrupt philosophy, if you can call it that. This idea.
Ideology. It's an ideology.
It's an
Yeah.
ideology. I'm going to kill you. People are caught in a trap.
Thanks for watching the boss. 53.
About being caught in a pathway.
This guy wasn't ISIS. Nicest guy. He was just some rap.
Yeah.
Someone who deeply believed.
Damn, couldn't stick her in there, bro.
Powerful. He's willing to stab an 8-year-old kid in the lungs. This poor fucking kid had a collapse. A little girl, because she was wearing a beach outfit.
Jesus.
Just missed it.
Sounds like you might have
Wonderful.
It's still fucking hot outside, man.
Oh, yeah, you live in
Okay. All right, here we go.
Not only do they do that because they're fanatical, actually going to change something and make the world a place.
Oh, nada piñada, cuñada, very close.
In some
Killing
way, they
children.
might, because they're going to
Zero.
influence in the world. Who's going to go out there?
Research and report.
Because they're going to fucking get people to the point where they lose all tolerance.
Well,
for
I'm
this kind
getting
of
to
shit.
that point, and I'm pretty tolerant. I'm getting to that point. And here's what's interesting about when you think about ISIS. So I was talking about a CIA guy, you know,
That's right.
He's a Delta guy. He's one of these real kind of guys who's in there and does all. He said, I said, you know,
There it is, man. I can't believe I hit that.
they're strongholds.
You make them martyrs.
First I hit the 10, I was going for the 20, of course. No, I was going for the double six. Going for the double six, hit the 10, and I said, boom, rebound.
You got it. Well done, man.
For the most part.
Fucking aisle 2.
More importantly, as I said,
All right.
Yeah. You gotta win this one anyways to help us out because our averages are fucking shit.
and,
Yeah. Hey, the only thing on my mind now is winning 24 in a
you
row.
can say no.
All right. Good deal.
Here we go. You're welcome.
Is that what's going on? Where's this happening? What part of the
In
world?
Syria, in Iraq, in those places where they have strong
41.
Voluntarily,
Yes, they
including European women. Have you seen this crazy shit? Girls are going from England and they're joining ISIS.
They're also getting wholesale.
Well, that's a decent start right there. Couldn't get the ton, though. Couldn't get the 80.
Trying to support the families of the martyrs, and they're running out of money, and you know, so they're losing the physical battle.
38.
The ideology is always going to inspire fuck faces like this guy.
Fuck faces like this guy.
You do need a strong.
Oh, come on, Joe. That's only 10, so that's 28 and shit, bro. That's 28. That cuts my fucking 120 down fucking tremendously.
Not the right word. It's hard to prevent evil psychopaths. It's hard to prevent
28.
like, I mean, forget religious ideology. The guy who fucking
I'm gonna drop it like it's hot and shit.
it's
Like
hard
it's hot shit. Like right in there. I've been that moment, yeah.
once, right? I mean, how many times
41.
shot up in Amy Schumer's movie? Weren't there people that went to see Trainwreck? That was right? Yeah, and because she was
What would you
upset
do?
about
What do
that.
you think is the answer? Is the answer
34.
Is the answer? This is a little bit radical, but let all of us carry it.
There it is. I usually always pop that triple 14 within 3 darts.
I don't know.
Trucks
That's
are
42, 50, 63.
that truck attack during the Steven
That's
Crowder.
one way out of it. If you can't fucking hit 20s today, we're going over there.
A clip of it. Like, what's to stop someone? Because we were talking about gun control, and I'm like, the problem is mentally insane people that are willing to kill people, and they could do it in a lot of ways, man. And I was like, what's to stop someone from taking a car and driving through a fucking crowd of people? There's not much you could do about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
38, 37.
I
If
do
you get
think
lucky and hit them, you know how hard it is to shoot at someone when they're driving at you in a car? It's hard to shoot a deer that's standing still
no shit,
and you resting your gun on a rock.
27.
but it's possible.
It's
and,
possible.
And I'd rather have that answer
Mhm.
than have to run and
You resting your gun on a log.
and fuck squeeze off, you know.
Right.
Tell that to her.
And I really mean that.
There's an argument there, and I think the argument against that you know you should not have that because you're more likely to kill someone in your family, and you know that's not a great argument either. I think on both sides, like the real issue is mental health.
20 goddamn
The real
cents.
issue is inequality. The real issue is people growing up. And when I say inequality, I don't necessarily even mean rights. I mean the environment in which you entered this world. Like
99,
you and I entered. Well, we have really nice parents.
91.
Born in America.
No worries. Yeah, 91. Good shot.
I lived overseas till I was 14 years old.
Barely
It's a lot of different countries.
Where
Where I get my age.
but you got lucky. You have a really nice family. You know, I got lucky. Great family, like nice
45.
people. You know, that's very fortunate. If you were born in Iraq or Saudi Arabia or in Afghanistan or in any of these places where you're dealing with these ancient ideologies,
30.
fuck. It's like there's a race, and the race is 30 miles long, and you're starting out at mile 1, where some people are at mile 29. Like, there's no way.
Oh my god,
There's no way
this
this
is
is
ridiculous.
There's no
13.
way. This is not fair. And
Go for triple 14s, bro.
through either time or
Look at that shot.
just
That
this
is.
expression of
That's 84, 94, 94, 98.
slowly but surely things.
That's a lot more than 83.
Where
Oh, dude, I should have done that earlier.
say religious tolerance.
Ding out.
Woman dressed like a ninja at the mall.
Ding out.
Lady is not in a good place. She's being forced to dress like that. This is not her idea. There's no way it is. This is an idea that was stuck into her life when she was a small person. And she grew up with that idea, and now she's married to some guy who forces that idea. He's walking around with a fucking golf shirt on, and his wife's dressed like a ninja. I mean, this is mad.
And I think it makes their country weaker. If you categorize and
31. These guys are hilarious.
around an entire
Yeah, I've never heard this dude before. Brian Callen on his show.
If you take women and say, you guys have to walk a little bit behind me, we just know that doesn't work. You're wasting a lot of human potential.
Yes.
A lot of people with ideas that can make the world a better place.
You also you're stifling the debate.
35, 44. That's not an ad.
Whether they're from different parts of the world, or whether they have different likes or dislikes, and they have different art that they appreciate. And I like hearing their point of view. There's a lot of people that I don't agree with what they're saying, and I like to hear what they say. There's radical feminists that I listen to their ideas saying, I try to figure out where the fuck they're coming from. I try to figure out, okay, is this a direct response to something they've experienced in their life? Like, how much of this has to deal with them being persecuted? How much of what people say has to do with their direct experiences with like when you look
59.
at
52, I'm sorry.
And you know life was not awesome for them around men. You just know it wasn't. Well, how much of this anti-male sort of ideology that they're espousing, like how much of that comes from their direct experiences with men, and how different would it be if they grew up looking like Julia Roberts?
Right.
I mean, a lot.
There's a really good one of the things I do with my podcast, the Brian Callen Show now, is I do.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You have a podcast?
I have the Fighter and the Kid.
Wait a minute. You brought back the Brian Callen Show?
I do it once a week, and I
How
talk
come
about
I
a
don't know
book.
about this?
I
76 left,
sent you one of them
25,
just for you to listen
34
to.
scored.
This guy Hunter
Yeah,
Montz,
I don't listen.
who's brilliant.
Just tell you right now.
I sent it to you, like whatever. But it was I'm very, very busy. But I had an amazing conversation with my buddy Hunter.
Amazing, like you can't believe it happened. Good.
My buddy Hunter is really good at reading everything and putting it in context where I can understand it. You know what I mean? Like he can create a useful, he can turn it into a useful,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
You can read a bunch
36.
of books, but you don't know how to put it together. This motherfucker can put it all together and contextualize it and everything else.
This motherfucker, he talks just like I do.
So we read this book called The Secret of Their Success, The Secret of Our Success by Joseph Henrik. And the theme of the book is basically this, and it's to your point. Human beings are smart because they borrow culture. Human beings are smart because they have societies that excel have to be open and have to be open enough so that they can borrow the best things from other cultures. So, for example, if you and I are put in the middle of the Arctic, we're gonna unless we find a bunch of Inuit, we're dead in about 3 days. You know, if you and I are in the Amazon, if you take an Inuit who can kick ass and find seal meat and everything in the Amazon, he doesn't have the culture. Yeah. Human beings survive and grow and excel because we are really good at learning from each other, borrowing ideas. It's called the diffusion of innovation. We are.
There's no fucking reason.
When you have societies,
No reason you should have missed that.
rules and
Well, not that badly anyway.
keep people essentially restricted, you are not going to have the free flow exchange of ideas. Look at, for example, mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Where martial arts has come once the Ultimate Fighting Championship and the Gracies created this crazy thing where everybody got to fight everybody else. Pretty soon everybody starts sharing secrets. Everybody starts to kind of like go, well, this works, this doesn't work. And you were putting it in an arena where you were actually, it was just a very open place.
It was a proving ground.
It was a proving ground. And you could
ideas.
And people are, look what they're doing now. They're borrowing coaches here. I got this idea.
Submissions and kickboxing.
That's
Damn, no score.
how innovation happens. That's the best way to get ideas to move forward. And again, the problem with countries that are restricted like Russia, like Saudi Arabia, with these strong sort of either cultures of power or cultures of religion, is that they a very, very
Fucking back to the double 16. I needed that earlier. Killing myself to live.
to benefit from your ideas. You are not going to start a company like Apple in Russia when you know that the government, like Putin or whoever,
I haven't played a game of Spades in a long time.
There it is.
Where would be the incentive?
Got it.
Exactly.
In Saudi Arabia.
Now it's an economy of not an autonomous.
Let me ask you this, because this is a kind of an interesting thought that's going through my head. Do you think that one of the things that's going on today that just
All
really
right, man. Escalera, man. Escalera.
Let's do
the
it.
Iran hostage crisis,
Escalera, please.
all that jazz?
Yeah. Hey, they beat me from convincing. You haven't beaten me 6-1, 6-2 in a very long time. So
I don't want to beat right now. I want enough legs to get my average up because this is horrible. I was working on a good one.
Because they were trying to, the Mujahideen, they were trying to control Afghanistan, and they wanted to get the natural gas pipelines, and there's a lot of it that deals with monopolizing natural resources and the amount of money they can get from that. And then all
Natural gas pipeline laying the fucker, bro.
military, regimes.
That's why I'm shooting darts with you right now.
Issues
I'm laying the gas pipeline.
terrorist activity that you're having today, which also coincides with the freedom and expression of ideas and information at an unprecedented rate that we're all experiencing today. In the areas where this is not true, the areas where the freedom of expression and the tolerance of ideas. I mean, if you look at the United States, there's some non.
What are you doing, Lance?
With political correctness, and there's some
20.
the left that's taken so far left that it almost becomes right because they're just completely not just controlling, but so infatuated with the idea of enforcing their version of
43
quality is and what life is on everybody else that it becomes this tyrannical. You're very tyrannical. But the point is, this is the West. I mean, this is where
61.
we are in the real marketplace. This is the boiling point of all these ideas where things are changing at a radical rate. And the world is also being attacked.
49, 59, 61.
By this completely constricted world that really doesn't feel like it has a chance. Like this is trying desperately to cling to these old ways. I mean, if you look at what ISIS is, they are desperately trying to cling to these ancient religious ideologies that were established in a way that does not allow for the even exchange of ideas and information.
27 and 9 is 27 is 37.
36.
Of course,
36?
it's also attached to.
All right, what you got? You got you got triple nine, single 9, and an 8. Yeah, 36, 8, 44.
36, 44. Thanks. Oh, cheers. We were tied.
Being in Rome Airport, they had plenty of guys with machine guns because of the Red Brigade. There was communist terrorism. There was Palestinian terrorism back then.
There
was always terrorism.
Much smaller scale than today. Much smaller.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's true because terrorism was
There it
terrorism.
is.
Like ISIS.
There it is. That's good enough for me, bro. Hitting one of these. It's 42, 52,
But I have to stop you for a second.
Adherence. What?
56, 66, 67. Oh, wait. 40,
Indonesia,
50, 60, 77.
ally.
Is that yeah.
Triple, single, 14.
People in 1 year died during the communist purge. I think it was 1965. By many accounts, there were probably 1 million people, most of whom were sort of taken to commando ops. They were the.
Try that out, dude. I'm telling you, you got fucking 999, triple 14. See that? There it is again, man. 30, 36, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Quote unquote communists.
I mean, you know what I mean? That's pretty good if you fucking stay in that zone.
Slaughter. Let's take.
Oh no, I mean, from a standpoint about skill level, yeah, it makes sense.
I
But
wonder if what is going
If you're
on.
fucking missing, you ain't really missing much, dude.
It's an us versus them thing, but it's combined with the us, which is this what's going on in the Western world. I mean, obviously the Western world has plenty of problems.
42.
One thing the Western world has pretty clearly is the even exchange of information and ideas. You might not agree.
There it is. I mean, I seem to hit one almost every time, dude.
But you have access to it.
Yeah, and this access is
5.
and I don't know if you know about this, but Milo Yiannopoulos, you know who he is?
Yeah.
He got banned from Twitter for writing a bad review about Ghostbusters, which essentially confirms what he said. Is that they're trying to stifle ideas, like, and then saying that he's responsible for the harassment of Leslie Jones, right? Which is horrible. You know what people did. She's a fucking comedian.
She's
man.
also great.
She's great. She's funny as shit, man.
27 leaves me with 32.
Trolls.
Correct.
All right, you're always going to have trolls. He's not responsible for. He didn't like.
He wasn't the catalyst to the. Yeah.
But what he did was make an incredible amount of sense when he was describing that you cannot make fun of this movie, you cannot criticize this movie. If you do, you're labeled a misogynist. And he talked about how preposterous this movie is. These women are all out kicking ass, and every man in the movie is a buffoon, and the women don't have any negative.
I'm gonna listen to this later. I can't really understand it all, but it's interesting.
yeah, they're going on a lot of different topics.
Put them in this restricted box.
He got banned from Twitter for that.
Banned from Twitter. You blaming him on the harassment that Leslie experienced.
He incited the.
Well, they didn't incite anything. He made a provocative article about a piece of art. And that's what that movie is, a piece of art.
So they are guilty of censorship in the worst way.
Well, what they're doing is they're stifling ideas.
Oh my goodness. 12.
Oh
Man, put me on my misery. This is horrible.
Some weird fucking things. Trust and
Damn. Going up to the 4s now.
these social justice words. Jamie, look that up. What the fuck is that called that they tried to do? But they brought on all these people for this.
Sounds like Mao's China. Jesus Christ.
It's very, very
It's
bizarre.
thought control.
It is thought control. Well, look, I'm against harassment. If you can stop people from being shitty to people, and you say, well, here's someone who's using Twitter and they're going after people in a very shitty way. But the problem with that is, look at how many fucking people have made shitty, horrible, evil comments.
Damn, no.
All police officers. Trust and Safety Council. When it comes to safety, everyone plays a role. Please make that larger so I can read it. Twitter empowers every voice to shape the world, but you can't do that.
66 plus. That's goddamn 10.
Yourself freely and connect with the world around you. To help give your voice more power, Twitter does not tolerate behavior intended to harass, intimidate, use fear to silence another user's voice.
Very general, by the way. Listen, now you have a council that is deciding whether or not you're good enough for Twitter. That's
Well, you know what the first thing they did with him? They couldn't figure out what to do with him. They took away his verification. What does that have to do with? What is that? They took away his little blue check.
Come on, man. You hit 30.
slippery slope. But
Well,
we
here's
see
the problem.
this in our
When they did
universities
that,
too.
So when you do exactly the same thing. When they did that, he gained 20,000 new followers immediately. This was a massive backlash. Yeah. Now they're in a place where there's even more
Fucking negative.
actual words that he typed versus what they're accusing him of, and it just doesn't stack up. It's clear that they don't like him because he's a Republican, he's a Trump supporter.
Sure.
He is a fucking troll. I love
17.
it. I think it's hilarious. He's a troll, but in the place of ideas, you should be able to combat trolling behavior.
Without a gag, without gagging,
Yes.
without
Gag order.
engage him in a debate,
Yes.
in a vigorous, spirited
Exactly.
debate.
Yeah,
Don't gag the guy.
Right. If you really feel like he has done something egregious, he's done something that can be criticized, criticize it. And if he's actually harassing people, if he's actually
12.
saying, hey, go find Leslie Jones and throw dog shit at her or do something horrible to her or slash her. He's actually doing something like that. Yeah, and that he's doing that's
That, hold on, man.
Second dart, man.
Hey, it wasn't the best game, but you still kicked my ass. And that's on there. I mean, in my view,
Fuck,
anyway.
man. By the skin of my ass. Yeah, that was a fucked up game, but we always have fucked up games, but we always have good games,